All right, welcome to this video. So we are going to be talking today about supplements and the itinerary for this brief little talk is we're going to have about a 5 to 15 minute video, depending upon how long I want to ramble. I'm going to briefly show you a little bit of our online dispensary. We're going to talk about what to look for and what to be aware of when it comes to supplements as a whole. We're going to then discuss generally what we will or when we will make the recommendation for patients to get some supplements. And then we'll kind of wrap things up as far as showing that some conditions and some medications may preclude you from getting certain prescriptions from us when it comes to supplements. So first and foremost, this is a snapshot of full script. We've got the logo over here, the home, patients who are patients in our online dispensary, the plans that they're on, and then this catalog. Basically, what it is a way for us to get you supplements at the time that you need them and which ones you need at the right time from our office. So rather than us stocking a bunch of different supplements that, we're a low volume clinic, we're not going to have everything in here. So rather than buying a bunch of product that has an expiration date that may go bad and will pressure us to then try and sell it so it doesn't go bad, we're taking that headache out of it, and we're working through this online dispensary where we can then make evidence-informed prescriptions for you as an individual that will have associated handouts so you know why we're prescribing what we're prescribing, as well as a general plan of this one you're going to be on for 1 month, this one 3 months, here's how often you should take it throughout the day. And it's just something that both myself as a provider making the recommendation and patients on the receiving end love, 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 because it's just so much easier than having to come in, discuss everything, buy the product in office, etc. So we, as an office, will use FullScript, an online dispensary. Now, when it comes to supplements, I got to talk about the bad side first. The supplement industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and a good portion of it, and I think the last study I saw is up to 80% of the supplement industry is the wild, wild west if you don't know what you're getting, the form you're getting it in, the dosage you're getting it in, and if it's contaminated or not. So all of that to say, be cautious. And I would almost never nowadays go to a Walmart and get any one of my supplements, or a Target, or anything where it's a big company that doesn't have to worry about necessarily the quality of what you're getting, just that they have to provide something for you to buy. So if you're going to consider going into supplements, I would first make the suggestion that you find a reputable provider who has access to additional supplements that aren't over-the-counter, on-the-shelf supplements that must be ordered for you, because these will typically be from companies that have additional certifications behind them that are proving they are up to par on their quality. So most of the ones that we work with, one example that you'll see on your screen with me is Thorne. Thorne has, under certifications, additional quality standards that they adhere to as a company, so that you know you're getting what you're paying for and in the format that actually works for human bodies. Because that's another sad thing about supplement industries is either the raw material that goes to the company packaging the supplement isn't what it says it is, or it is, but it's not at the right dose. So the dosage is wrong and not going to be of any benefit to the patient, or it's the right supplement, but not the right form. So it's not even absorbable by humans as a whole. So just be very cautious about getting into supplements if you are doing it on your own without a provider to help you. Now, the supplements that we will often default to, that we have brand loyalty to, have these certifications either on FullScript here, which you can see in Thorne, or we know, and we've talked to them as a company themselves, they will batch test their raw product, they will batch test their supplements going out. There are checks and balances in place to guarantee that the product is a quality product. That's why we will use Thorne. That's why we will use Biotics Research. That's why we will use Orthomolecular. as our kind of go-to supplements. Now, that doesn't preclude us from using other supplements from more local companies like Standard Process. If the patient prefers a Standard Process product, they're a good company. But those are the ones that we use, and that's why we use them. So, who and what conditions can benefit from supplementation? That, frankly, is too in-depth and too broad of a topic for this video. And honestly, there are like 48-hour certifications on that topic alone. So I will try and sum it up thusly. We have patients under a general health category that may benefit from supplementation, and then we have either seasonal slash episodic conditions that may benefit from supplementation. So first, general health. In this category, something to note is that even if you eat a perfect diet, it is very hard to get your entire breadth of micronutrients, your recommended daily allowances of all of your micronutrients every single day. So these supplements are trying to patch in those gaps in our diet. Now, before I get any further, one thing that I also want to mention is when a prescribing physician, doctor, provider is making any recommendation, most of the time we are going through a weighing process of cost to benefit as well as to risk. So is what we're doing or prescribing worth the time, effort, and money, and what is the associated risk involved, and are all of those factors worth it for the patient in front of us? So we're doing that when it comes to supplements. So under the general health category, when we're trying to patch up a patient's nutrient profile, one that has a very good cost to benefit ratio is actually a multivitamin. Because even a high quality one isn't going to break the bank. And because even if you eat a perfect diet, it is so difficult to get all of your micronutrients in. It's just a very easy, low risk, I wouldn't say high reward, but it's just one that you can get and take without worrying about, are you wasting any money? Okay. So under a general health category, most people will benefit from a multivitamin, as well as a lot of people will ignore fiber. So those two have a high benefit to cost ratio. So if you don't even know what to get, how many things to get, those are two that can be on your radar right now. Now, what I'm not saying is you don't have to go to a GNC and get a dozen different things. In the general health category, frankly, you don't. Most people don't need a dozen different supplements. Okay? Supplements are just that, a supplement. They're not meant to be a replacement of a good quality lifestyle and diet. These are your cherries on top of your health style sundae. Now, after multivitamins and fiber, then it gets a little bit more nuanced as far as who takes what. Now, me, I'm a little bit biased. The one on your screen, creatine, isn't just for people at the gym for sports performance. We're actually finding that it has some good evidence for cognitive benefits, so brain health, and we're starting to see that it's being incorporated into concussion recovery. So just another checkbox as far as creatine being able to help your brain health. And it's frankly extremely safe. It's not super expensive, so it can be on your radar of what you should take day to day. After that, if you eat fish relatively consistently like I do, then you don't need this next one like an omega-3 or omega-6 fatty acid supplement. However, if you don't like the taste of fish, you try and avoid fats like the plague, then it may be worth your while to get a high quality fish oil in your diet. But that's almost entirely it as far as general health is concerned for supplements. You don't need a lot if you're focused on getting your health better. However, now we're going to delve into seasonal and episodic, and that's where it gets a little bit more, I almost want to say broad, where you can actually make the argument that you might want to consider having more supplements in your back pocket depending upon what health conditions you're going to be going through. So there are templates and good evidence to show that we can supplement and help somebody through seasonal illnesses like the common cold and influenza. Okay, so there's some supplements that can help either to speed up the recovery or mitigate the symptoms when you go through a bout of the common cold. Same thing with allergies. There's plenty of supplements out there that can help somebody through a bout of an allergy season. Now, this isn't like, I'm not talking like it's an EpiPen if you have an anaphylactic reaction. I'm talking about, say you have a runny nose or you have that itchy throat or you have common allergy symptoms. There are supplements out there to help you through that. So there are definitely seasonal templates and seasonal studied supplements that can help you through those events. There's also episodic. So if you have a musculoskeletal injury, we can consider some anti-inflammatory supplements as well as joint supporting supplements to get you through and be more comfortable as you heal through that episode of injury. Or if you're going into surgery, there's some things that you can do for joint health and bone health to kind of shore up your body's stock resources so that you have a better ability to adapt and heal going through that event. Okay. So broadly speaking, to recap, you have your general health. There's some that you can just take because, and then we have our more incidental, seasonal or episodic conditions that would potentially benefit from considering supplements in their routine of healing through or getting through whatever that may be. And again, it's not the purpose of this video to go through the entire breadth of those because it's a lot of them. So here, let me show you. I'll click templates and I'll just show you some of FullScript's templates. There's anything from diabetes, concussion, blood pressure support, some for fertility, headaches, post-op care. We've got GLP-1 agonists, proton pump inhibitor support. So these aren't replacements of, these are in addition to support things like medications. Statin support, contraceptives, seasonal, bariatric, like you kind of get the picture. If I kept going, you can see how many different conditions and health episodes there are templates for. And those are just templates that are on the system. That's not all the conditions that we can consider. I simply am trying to say that these can play a part temporarily and help you through whatever it is you're going through, kind of like what a physician might do with your prescription, okay? These shouldn't, or many of these shouldn't be permanent things, but they may be considered to help you through these times of your life. I hope that makes sense, and I'm going to try and keep going because I'm prone to rambling. So that's an overview of FullScript. That's what you should look for as far as supplements go. That's why we use the brands that we use. And here's just kind of who may benefit from supplementation. You can kind of see, for some people, it's like, oh, I wouldn't be one. I don't need to waste the money. Okay, you may be right. Or, oh, I can see where if I'm going through this, I've kind of had a bad rap of my spring sucks with allergies. Well, okay, yeah, you may be a candidate for considering supplementation. Or I know I'm going to go into surgery. You also may be a candidate to help build some things up prepping for surgery. Now, one thing that I want to also discuss, because I've mentioned some physicians and pharmaceuticals in this talk, there are also people that aren't candidates for certain supplements because of their condition or prescription. For example, and I'm not going to go through all of them, and frankly, I don't know all of them. There are charts and tables that I will reference as a double check to make sure that when I prescribe something, it's safe. But the two that I'll discuss for the sake of this video, the first one is anybody who is on warfarin, so a blood thinner, automatically stops us from prescribing anything with white willow bark because white willow bark actually will break down into salicylic acid, which is actually the main form or the main precursor to aspirin. And aspirin is actually cautiously and relatively contraindicated for patients taking warfarin because they will compound the effects of the blood thinner. So you don't want to overly thin somebody's blood. That's just not good. So if a patient is absolutely determined, we'd have to go through the prescribing physician to make sure that the dosages are safe. But unless I go through that process, it's a hard no from the office of if you're on warfarin, you're not getting any prescriptions with white willow bark because they will compound the effects. And, you know, the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm. That's our goal. We're not going to try and hurt our patients. The second one, and this one may be surprising, it was a little bit of a bummer for me because frankly, I love licorice. I love black licorice in particular. However, licorice is a very common supplement, especially for a lot of GI, GU conditions, more GI. But what you have to consider is there's the full strength licorice supplement, which actually has a compound called glycyrrhizanate. And glycyrrhizanate actually is something that is shown to elevate blood pressure. So we have to be cautious about the form of licorice that we use and prescribe because it doesn't make sense for us on somebody who already has a high blood pressure, even if they're on an antihypertensive, to then also prescribe a full strength licorice supplement, which has glycyrrhizanate, which will also elevate their blood pressure. So especially for those patients, we'll have to find something called a deglycyrrhizinated form. So they take the glycyrrhizinate out of the licorice so that you can still prescribe it, but it shouldn't elevate their blood pressure. Okay. So those are just the two examples that I'll talk about in this video. So to recap as a whole, hopefully I'm not doing too much with my hands. We use an online dispensary so that we can make the most personable recommendations for our patients at any given time. We utilize particular brands because they go through additional testing criteria to get certified in being a high quality pharmaceutical grade supplement company so that you're guaranteed to get the supplement at the dosage and strength you're getting it at in the form you need it. We also have to go through a history with the patient to make sure that anything we prescribe isn't going to intermingle and mix poorly with their lifestyle and current prescriptive medications, because supplements may be generally thought of as fantastically safe, but they're not. They are nice, they're holistic, they're fantastic. We love using them, but they're not without risk, which is why we have to take the time to make sure that we're going to make the proper recommendation for you in our office. And if you are going to want to get into the world of supplements to help your health, to shore up those gaps, find a trusted healthcare professional that has access to these high quality supplements to make sure that what you're getting is going to be of quality, safe, effective, and cost effective for you and what you're going through, to add that cherry on top as you build your better lifestyle Sunday. Hopefully that wasn't too cliche. Thank you for sticking around to this point. I hope to make more content like this in the future, but I need your ideas and recommendations on what you would like us to do talks about. So thank you for everything so far, and I look forward to reading your comments about what we can do for you guys in the future to make this content better. Thank you.